My Dress Up Darling, episode 17. So we kick off the episode with Gojo, Marion, and his grandfather and Gojo's grandfather trying to have a real nice talk about like the process of making Hino dolls, and this is where we kind of learn a very significant part of the Hino doll making process, and that is that it's like done so in like 10 up to 10 people, like, so it's a collective effort, not just a singular person that's doing them. So it's really nice because having this play off right after we find out in the previous episode about how everybody has to pitch in the summer festival, so it kind of ties things together that everything great or like a good product comes from collective team efforts, and not and if it was done so by like a single person, it probably wouldn't be as good, or it would definitely take a lot longer to do, which is a nice lesson that Gojo is now really starting to learn as we continue on with the series, which I'm really loving it. And I love that while they were telling the story, though, it was done so through like through like puppets. So this change in animation is just so nice to have in a series like this. And then we get on to the following day, and we have Marin that's like looking for Gojo everywhere, and she basically even got up early and then ran into kind of made it seem like she ran into him, and then she said she actually made a bento box for him, which is really nice because as we know, Marin is playing the role of Rei Sama for the beauty pageant, and the scene that they're trying to do is like the bento scene. So I guess Marin was feeling a bit extra and decided, well, I'm gonna do something nice for Gojo for a change. And this time, she she did it right. It wasn't just like completely all fried food. It was actually pretty decently homemade stuff. And Gojo was just outstanded by it because he was afraid that he was gonna have to dig into a bunch of fried food. But as more and more days kept going on, we saw Marin portions of or bentos start to get heavier and heavier, and it came down to the point where it was just like too. Gojo was probably having too much of it, and no, it was nice. Like, I really love this aspect of tackling Gojo and Marion's weaknesses, like Marion's weaknesses in the kitchen, and this time she was tackling that head on, and Gojo was putting too much on his shoulders at once, which has been a kind of like a double-edged sword to him at times. And they decided that they needed to do some practice work to see if the judges would like how Marin performs in that minute that she has to get their attention. So what they ended up doing was that Marin started trying to give Gojo the princess treatment, and it was seemingly working as Gojo was getting all flustered and stuff. And eventually, some of the guys came in to get him because they needed help with some heavy lifting. And as we're getting more to see like Gojo try to prep for the school festival, we see that he was actually trying to get info through this magazine for, like, I guess guys, which is what he did prior to in season 1 when he was trying to make that one girl that her own cosplay of the guy. But this time it seemed a bit more different, as he was running into some things that the other one was not, like adjusting certain lengths and stuff to match Marin better, even though when Marin tried out the outfit, it looked almost so good on her, but it wasn't to like Gojo's perfectionist. So he pretty much told Marin, like, yeah, you know what, let me redo everything. And they're like, you're gonna redo everything, but we're practically out of time. We're like on crunch time. And Marin's like, yep, I'm gonna trust him to get it done. And yeah, no, it was great, because even then we start seeing Gojo's Gojo starts remembering what his grandpa told him about how, like, uh people need the help of others, and people need to learn to rely on others. So by doing that, Gojo kind of asked one of the guys, like, if he could show Marin like how to act more manly, or like get more of the male aesthetic forward. And of course, the guy doesn't just release like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, no problem. And then we have one of the guys come in, uh, who kind of likes the drama series of the cosplay that Marin's gonna do, and he was kind of embarrassed about it. But Gojo was pretty much like, no, yeah, I bitched the entire animated series too, like, and I enjoyed it, and this kind of brought a sense of like, oh, it's okay to like things that are like this too, even though I'm a guy. So I love that Gojo's now able to give that same self like a self confirmation of sorts. Like, he's now the one that is doing what Marin did for him, and self acceptance. That's what it is. He made the guy accept that it's alright for guys to like this, just like Gojo is one to like making dolls, which is not typically one that is made by guys or like that is seen as a manly type of activity. But no, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I love the animation sequences. I love Marin getting to act as Rei Sama, and now, yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes. This episode's a nice 8 out of 10.